I'm gonna hate myself while filming this. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I filmed a fresh video for you guys. I know that there is going to be a lot of videos that have either been uploaded already or going to be uploaded that I pre-filmed, and I wasn't able to edit it in time for my trip to Korea. But anyways, I am back and I am not thriving. I'm not doing that great, but we're gonna roll with it. I am a huge mess just trying to get my life together. I'm fighting through, clawing my way to the finish line, but like, what else can you expect from me? But regardless, I am here with new content, and the content is that I am back with a weekly book haul. Now, since I've been away from Korea, or for Korea, for like 10 days, 9 days, it's been a rough ride where I had to say goodbye to my books and my shelf collection, obviously, and also for my next door neighbor who had to pick up my packages every single day, or at least walk by my porch every single day to check if there are any packages, just so that my books will not be destroyed. So not all heroes wear capes, and we should always thank our neighbors for doing us a solid by collecting our books from and protecting them from the rain. But regardless, let's just get started with the haul. I have a lot of books to show you. They're all on my floor right now because I'm just sitting in a chair and the desk is nowhere near me, but we're gonna get through with it. And I don't know how many books I have to haul today because I never counted. I just kind of just opened the packages already because I was too excited, and I just looked inside and I just went, ooh, and I'm just gonna show you now. So the first package that I have to show you is actually a box, and it is the Indigo Book Box, and I've hauled this many times before in my book hauls. And if you guys are not familiar with this, it's basically Indigo is a major Canadian bookseller in Canada, and they came out with a book box similar to like a lot of subscription boxes that you might have seen on Instagram or online on websites and things like that, but it is not subscription based. You basically just buy it if you want to buy it, and then that's it, and then you carry on and move forward with it. You get to know exactly what's inside the book box, so that is something that I definitely appreciate because I don't want duplicates of books, and plus I don't want any swag that I don't care about because it takes up a lot of room and I'm already a hoarder, so why would I want more swag? And it's just like a waste of space, and it's like a waste of money as well. So the Indigo book boxes are great because you get to go online, you get to see exactly what you're getting, you know what book you're getting, and it's usually a signed book. You get a note from the author, and then you get some like pieces of swag that is actually useful or it's fun to play with, and it's not like, you know, like paper or like just like, I don't know what else is like useless swag, but it's cool to get, like pens or something. I don't know. So moving forward, let's open the Indigo book box. Like you can't even see because like my angle's really bad, but so sorry. Okay, so this is the Coco Indigo book box, and the first thing that I want to show you is this little pal. He is a dragon and he is adorable. He is supposed to be your reading buddy, and you're supposed to read with him and go on adventures with him. It's the beanies, like the beanies that were really popular back when we were like kids, and now I am back as a kid with a toy, and I do not judge this at all because I love stuffed animals. The second thing that you get is a Maggie Stiefvater preview for Call Down the Hawk, which is her latest book that's coming out, I believe, next month or the month after. And I know a lot of my friends are really excited to read another Maggie Stiefvater book after they fell in love with the Raven Boys. I have yet to read it yet, but we'll get on. The next piece of swag that you get is actually a Coco Machado Frost bracelet. So it's just, oh, and there's also a free audiobook download code. So if you order this box, you can actually download the audiobook for free, and you get to listen to it just in case you don't want to pick up the book because you are lazy like me and you don't want to carry something heavy around in your purse all day. So that's pretty cool, and it comes with a bracelet. And it's way too big for my wrist, but you could tie it tighter, and it's basically just an arrow, and then here's my broken hair tie, so it goes definitely well with all your hair ties. Next, we're gonna move on to the book itself, which is gorgeous. It's like a matte cover. It has like an arrow or a spear, and like it has like all these leaves and magical colors, and like it's just gorgeous and pretty. And this is how it looks like. And then we have her signed nameplate or a plate in the inside, so that's pretty cool too as well. So this is actually Coco Ma's like debut novel, if nobody knows who she is. She is very young. She was born in 2000, I think, and I hauled her arc in my other haul before, so if you guys don't know, like definitely go check back into my most recent haul. I'll probably link it in the bottom, but she's really young and she's very successful. She's already like finished a degree with Juilliard. She's in Yale College right now, and she published a book, and she's only like 19, which just really blows my mind that how so many people can be so successful if you just put your mind to it. So I'm excited to see what this book is about, or like I'm excited to see if it's good or not, and it's worth my attention to read since it is October and the fall season. I really love fantasy novels, so I'm excited to pick this one up. So the last piece of swag that you get in the box is something that I am screaming about, and I absolutely cannot like love it more. It's a book tote, or like a tote bag. I don't even know why I said book tote, but it says get lost in a book, and it has these gorgeous like cartoons on it, and on the other side it's like the same thing, which is, oh no, it's not the same thing, because like you have like a girl reading a book and then it goes like that, and then this one is a knight and he looks like he's wearing headphones because he's listening to an audiobook. That's so cute. So the reason why I love this tote bag is not because of just the cute design, but because the material is really thick. Like I'm selling a tote bag right now, but the material is really thick, and also the tote bag itself is wide, so you can hold a lot of things in this bag. Like this bag will be something that you can use to carry your books during a book sale, or this bag can be something you use if you like carrying tote bags as purses, which sometimes I do. So I'm excited for this one, and I hope my sister doesn't steal it, because she always tends to steal my things, and like she loves tote bags as much as I do, so if she steals this, I'll be pretty sad. So moving on with the theme of chapters Indigo, I was sent the staff pick of the month for October, I believe, and it's actually called Slay by Brittany Morris, and it is stinking gorgeous. I love the colors. It's like purple, pink, and blue, as you can see, and the design is gorgeous as well. And this book is very interesting. So it is a YA teen novel, and it has it has technology in it, so it's like sci-fi, but it's not sci-fi, because what happened is that our main girl is a game developer. She's super smart, she's really great at coding, she just loves games, and she's so good at what she does, and when she goes home at night, nobody knows what she does, and everybody doesn't expect like that she is like the owner of this really, really great game and really popular game. But what happens is that there is a dispute about the game, and a teen is murdered, and it's being labeled as racist, it's being labeled as like the worst things possibly imagined, and now she has to deal with this crisis because she herself is black, but she's being told that her game is an anti-white discrimination game. So this book deals with hard issues mixed with issues that we are dealing today in a technological world. So I'm excited to read what's it about. I feel like if you are a fan of The Hate You Give and any Angie Thomas book, you'll definitely like this book too, so definitely check it out. So the next book that I want to talk about is a book that was actually sent to me by the author and a tour, like a book tour company, because I was scheduled to talk about this book on a scheduled date, and I was super excited, even though the title is a little bit weird. It's called Beauty and the Beast, and her name is actually called Beauty, or like that's her nickname. Her real name is Dia Mathur, and this is a South Asian romance novel, and it sounds really great. She is a supermodel. She comes from a really wealthy family. She's doing really well for herself, and you know, scandal happens, and her father is like, oh, I can't deal with this. Like, you need to go to America. You need to like learn a better life. You need to do better for yourself. So she's under a watchful eye of this really genius, rich entrepreneur, and secretly she's actually really like in love with him, and she doesn't know what to do, and basically he has nothing, like he doesn't want to do anything with her because he's like, okay, well, like you're also like an important figure in my life, and also because you're really annoying. So opposites attract definitely in this novel, and I'm excited to pick this one up. And yeah. So the next book that I want to talk about is a book that was sent to me from HarperCollins Canada, and I was sent this during my vacation to do an Instagram tour, or like a Instagram takeover, but I told them that like I'm out of the country, I won't be able to take pictures in time, and they were very kind enough to still send me a copy anyways so that I could still upload pictures and to talk to you about this very important book. I was actually at HCC Frenzy where Jazmine Core, she was there, and she did a poetry reading of her book, and it was so touching. Like all her poems, like this is a poetry novel, and all her poems are just about her like dealing with racism in a country that was supposed to be like really accepting of others, and it's about her share of racism and her share of dealing with her identity and her culture in a country that is hard to understand. Like it's places where it's like hard to understand, and we generalize a lot of things, and we tend to think the worst of people, and this book is about that. So I remember when she read a couple of her poems, it really touched me, and it made me like really upset, and I was like, literally everybody was about to start crying. She was very kind enough to sign a couple of copies if you were interested. I didn't actually get a copy there, but I'm glad I got a finished copy now because I can definitely read some of the poems, and check it out if you are a fan of like, you know, deep poetry that really will resonate with you. So the next package that I received is finally a book that I bought myself. And this book's a thought, okay? So I bought it originally before reading it, and I got an ARC in the end, and it was an e-ARC. So I thought like, you know what, I want the physical copy as well, because look at the cover. The cover is gorgeous. It's blue, it's cute, it's like whatever. If you guys don't know what this book is about, it's from Berkeley Romance. It's from a debut author called Sarah Smith, and it's called Faker. And this book is, it's a little different from what, it's not a little different from what I would read, but it's definitely not a book that I would recommend in the end. I actually didn't really like this book. I think I gave it like 2 out of 5 stars, but if I were to think hard enough, I might have to give it a 1 out of 5 stars, but it wasn't that problematic, so I'll still stick with my 2 out of 5 stars. So this book is about a girl named Emmy, and Emmy is a professional faker, and by that I mean that she is actually very soft inside. She's like, she gets her feelings hurt, she's very like sweet, and she's very nice, but when she's working at work in a male dominated like workplace, she has to be tough, and that's where her faker mentality comes from. She fakes being tough, she fakes that her like sexist comments don't hurt her, and like things like that. And she actually hates the guy that works across like the office from her, and it's like this love-hate relationship, and Sarah did a really great job at making us like know that she hates her. Like you feel the hate, like it's something palpable, so that's really great, and that's good for writing. But I found that in the beginning of this book it started off really slow, and then in the middle of the book is where it got really juicy and really like cute and fluffy, but then the ending just kind of like went in a different direction of where anybody was thinking. It didn't make sense at all. The conflict didn't make sense, the resolution happened too fast, and I'm sad to say that I might return this book. It's not even a might at this point. I think I'm just going to return this book because it's not worth my time to keep. It's not worth my time to spend my money on. And this turned into a little rant review, but I'm probably going to save my $15 that I spent on this. So the next book that I received is Once a Spy by Mary Jo Putney, and this book is from Kensington Books, and they were kind enough to send me a copy, as well as from TLC Book Tours on Instagram, because I am actually a part of their book tour on Instagram, and I missed the date to post a picture because I was away on vacation. So what else is new? I don't have my life together. But this is a historical romance novel, and I love historical romance, although I haven't been reading as much as lately because what is my life? But this book is about a British intelligence officer named Simon, and Simon comes back from a war, and he's just like, okay, like what do I do now? And he meets his cousin's like wife. Like, he meets his cousin's wife, his cousin's widow, because his cousin's dead, but they get to know each other, and it seems like it's going to be a very slow like romance. And because they both work together to go find Simon's like foster brother or something like that, and it sounds like it's going to be a very slow burn romance. So if you're a fan of slow burn historical romance, definitely check this book out. So the next package that I got is actually from Harlequin, and I'm a part of their publicity team on Instagram, so I was actually sent a copy of a book to promote on my Instagram, and it's called His to Defend by Rena Morgan. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce names. What else is new? But this is a Carina Press novel. It is a romantic suspense novel, and it's about a Russian mafia boss. Now, I haven't read these books in a long time, but they just sound so dark and steamy, and it's something that I will definitely pick up during the end of these like dark, gruesome months. But basically, this one is about Yvette, and Yvette she's a single mother, and she needs to take care of her son. She needs money, and she turns to the one person that she knows that will definitely help him or help her, and it's the Russian mafia boss named Sergei. And Sergei is like known as to be like this dark and dangerous, like really like you're supposed to be really scared of him, and an intimidating type of guy. And she knows that he has a heart of gold, and he's actually a nice guy. So it's definitely going to be a story where we kind of just see his good, even though his job requires him to perform bad deeds and to basically be illegal all the time. So the next novel that I want to talk about is a book from Forever Romance. They were kind enough to send me a review copy, or a finished copy for review, and it's from Miranda Leoson, and I love her. Like, she is so good at writing small town romances. She's just so good at writing contemporary romances. Don't let her covers fool you, even though her covers are really super cute all the time. Pick her up if you do see her at a Walmart, because she writes really like heartfelt, like sweet, fluffy romances. And this one is her Christmas one for this year, and it's called All I Want for Christmas Is You. And this story is about two like childhood, like, you know, like childhood people that they've known since they're in their childhood. I don't know what to say, but her name is Caitlin and Raph, and Caitlin and Raph share this like one night fling, and Caitlin is actually in love with Raph. It was like been a long-term crush already, but Raph is just like, okay, whatever, dude, like we're just gonna have like a one night fling kind of thing. And it gets more complicated because Caitlin is pregnant, and they have to lie to everyone in this small town that they're actually engaged because they don't want to hurt other people's feelings or some things like that. And they go more and more with this lie, and Caitlin's just like, okay, I don't know what to do anymore because like you don't know that I actually am in love with you. And Raph does not want anything to do with her, and at least that's what's in her head. But actually Raph really likes her, and Raph is like slowly starting to fall in love with her more and more, and it's falling harder and harder. And he doesn't know what to do himself because he dealt with like a lot of loss in his past, and he doesn't want to get hurt again. But this story sounds super duper cute, and it's definitely a book that I'll pick up closer towards the Christmas season. So the next book is another book that was sent to me from Forever Romance. It's a finished copy, and I already saw it in stores, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. It's from Debbie Mason, and Debbie Mason is also a small town romance author that I personally really love, and I'm really excited to read. It's another Christmas novel called Christmas in Harmony Harper, and this book is about a girl named Evangeline, and her favorite time is Christmas, and she is trying to actually save her all-year holiday shop from this really successful real estate CEO, and he's trying to close down the store, and now she's kind of like risking everything to save her store. And they are like, I think it's going to be like a love-hate relationship, which I like love, because like I love reading romances with the Grinch inside, and the girl's able to turn his like life and perspective around through the Christmas holiday seasons. And that's just me, but if you're trashy like me and if you like trashy Christmas novels, definitely check this one out as well. So the next package that I received is also from Harlequin, and this book is part of their publicity package once again, and I'm expected to take some photos for them on Instagram, which I'm very excited for. This book is called Finding Home Again by Brenda Jackson, and this book is a second chance romance, and I read the cover and I read the synopsis. Well, I read the synopsis and I absolutely loved it. So it's about Bryce and Keegan, and Bryce and Keegan were once dating 10 years ago. They had this like really great relationship and it was going super well. They thought that they could marry each other. It was their happily ever afters, but then they broke up because of like this giant like misunderstanding, I think. And they broke each other's heart, and they think that it's like the other person's at fault when it's really just a misunderstanding or something like that. So he returns back to the small hometown and there's no avoiding her, and he realizes that he made a really big mistake like 10 years. He now has to resolve it in order to be with the girl that he loves, and it's super cute so far that like I'm reading from the synopsis, so I'm definitely going to check this one out. And if you guys are a fan of like enemies to lovers or second chance romances, I think you'll really enjoy this one as well. So the next 3 books that I want to show you is actually 3 books that I actually bought myself. After I came back from Korea, I went to a local bookstore called B&V, and they sell like used books, and they also sell like really discounted books. So let's just go ahead and show you the romance novels that I have bought so far. This one's called Charmed and Ready by Candace Havens, and this is a paranormal romance, and I was joking around with my friend Joey about how like I tend not to read fantasy and I tend not to read paranormal romance, but I like to lie to myself a lot and I like to force myself into reading new genres. So this is a book that I think will be easy to slip myself into the genre. Now, this book is about witches. This book is actually a part of a series, so I'm so stupid because then I picked up a book that's like in the middle of the series, so I don't know what's going on. But basically this is a book about witches, and she owes the prime minister of like the country that she lives in a big favor. And I guess like they're working in a city, in a society where witches are there. I don't know if it's an actual secret, but she has to look over his rock star buddy named Zane, and apparently Zane might be a warlock. And I know it sounds very confusing, but trust me, you're not the only one that is confused. I am confused too, since I never read the series before and I just ended up picking like what, like the 3rd or 4th book in this series. What am I doing with my life? But hopefully I can find like ebook copies of like the series of the books, because this book clearly is out of print, and then I could read it and then I could catch up. So the next book that I picked up is Phi Beta Bimbo, and this book is about a girl named Leia, and Leia Smith is a very intelligent. She is a sociologist, and for her like dissertation, she wants to see if blondes really do have more fun. So she trades in her brunette hair for blonde hair. She makes her breasts bigger by wearing pump-up bras, and she wears really sexy outfits, and she joins a cosmetics company, and she just wants to study like human interaction between like people and blondes, and attractive blondes. And the security specialist Mark Coulson is hired to see like and sense out like corporate spies, and the first person that he senses out that is definitely not real and not a real person is Leia. And they have like this whole weird play a game of a cat and a mouse where he's trying to catch her and she's always like one step ahead, and I feel like this will be a really fun contemporary. So the last book that I picked up for myself is actually a self-help book. So if you guys don't know, I really enjoy self-help books and I buy a lot of them, but do I read all of them? No. Lately I have been slipping and my stack of self-help books have been growing, but majority of my self-help books are usually career books because, hello, I am a mid-20-year-old girl who really wants to advance in her career, or at least want to stay on top of track of her career, and just wants to do better in herself and to navigate relationships in the workplace. Okay, we're done with our speech here and my TED Talk. This book is something that caught my eye every single time I went to that bookstore. It's called Ask a Manager by Allison Green, and it's like how to navigate clueless colleagues, lunch stealing bosses, and the rest of your life at work. And I actually saw this book with my friend and I was trying to convince her to read it with me because we both have similar issues in our workplace that we're currently dealing with, like project management and like basically like dealing with people who are acting differently than you or not being professional with you. So yes, so when I was reading this book and I was skimming through it, like a big thing for me for self-help books is that I have to skim through it to see the formatting of the book. I cannot read self-help books that have really tiny margins with really tiny fonts, and no. So I'm very thankful that this book is organized in a way that is appealing to me. It has a lot of situations and scenarios, and it also gives you a lot of pointers and tips and exactly what you should say to your colleague who's being kind of a dick. So So I'm really excited to read this one because already as I'm flipping through it, I found a lot of examples that definitely resonate with me and things that I want answers to. So check out this book if you guys are interested, and if you guys are working in a job where you're just not happy because the people around you are just not being great, or maybe just like simple things like asking for more pay and like getting a higher salary and things like that. Okay, so the last 3 books that I have to show you is something very, very exciting, and by the time this video goes up, I should already have an Instagram giveaway post up on my Instagram. So make sure to go to my Instagram and enter if you are a resident of Canada. I know I'm working with Simon Schuster Canada this time around, and it's only open to Canadian residents only because of legal issues and because it's the publishers rules. So basically they sent me 3 Christina Lauren books, and they're all finished copies and they're all gorgeous, and I've actually already read 2 of them, and I didn't read this one yet, but I do have an arc of it and I'm planning to read it sometime very soon. I'm actually giving away another book called Love and Other Words by Christina. So I'm actually giving away 4 books. So it's going to be this big Christina Lauren giveaway, so definitely check it out if you're a Canadian resident. But if you guys are new to YouTube and new to Instagram, or just basically new to romance, and if you don't know who Christina Lauren is, she is, or they are, 2 people, and they write under the name of Christina Lauren. They write really great romantic novels. They had this really popular series, and the Beautiful Bastard series, and it was so good, and now they transitioned into like standalones. So they've been pumping out books like every single year, like maybe even 2 every year, and they're doing really great and doing really well. Personally, for me, I have my highs and lows. I have some books that I don't really like, and I have my books that I really, really like. So it's either 0 to 100. So the first book that I'm giving away is the Honeymooners by Christina Lauren, and in short, this book is about 2 people who are hating each other. It's like a love-hate relationship, and it's enemies to lovers. So if you're a fan of it, definitely check it out already. Basically, these 2 people have to fake that they're married to go on this retreat that they were given to them by their older brother and their older sister. They're not like her older sister and his older brother, like they're not related, like no, okay? So yeah, I read this book. I really, really liked it, and I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think I took a star off because of the conflict, but still enjoyable always. The next book that I'm giving away is actually Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I don't know why I have to say by Christina Lauren. You guys kind of already got that. But this book is loved by a lot of people, and a lot of people actually love this book. Me personally, this one is about 2 people who are opposites, and their opposites attract. Hazel is very different from Josh. Like, it doesn't, like, if you put them in a room together, you wouldn't even think that they could be friends, because they're just so, like, one is zany and one is like, you know, wild, living on the wildlife, and the other one's very strict and by the rules and like follows everything to the T. So yeah, so this book, everybody loved it, so definitely check out my giveaway if you're interested in reading a copy. The next book that, or the last book that I received from them. So what actually happened was that something was wrong with their warehouse, and I wasn't sent a finished copy of Love and Other Words. That's why this is the last book that they sent to me, but I'm still giving away Love and Other Words from them. But this book is Twice in a Blue Moon, and this book is actually coming out this month on October 15th, and it's their latest release. Now, I was talking to Christina Lauren on Twitter, and they said that this one is going to be different from a lot of their other romance novels. This one has an emotional factor to it, and if you guys don't know Christina Lauren's writing, is that she is, or they are, really good at writing emotional pieces that really grip you, that make you want to cry, that make you want to die. So I'm terrified of reading this book, but I'm also excited, so I'm scared and terrified at the same time. I actually never read the back of this book because I want to walk into this book with like no impression of what the story is about. I just want to let the writing do its job. So the last book that I'm giving away that I actually never hauled in this week, but I'm going to talk about anyways because we're on the topic of the giveaway, is Love and Other Words, and this is actually an advanced reader's copy that I got in the year that it was published. I forgot when it was published. It was published in 2018, so last year. I don't know why it took me so long to figure out when I got this book, but this book is, I have to talk about it because this book is one of my favorite Christina Lauren books. It's probably like my favorite one, and a lot of people like either hated this book or loved this book, but that's like with all Christina Lauren. But me and my friend Lacey loved this one, and this one is about childhood friends who were on the path of like dating and were like really like, I think they were even like together at some point, but then something happened and it just blew them and their relationship apart. She moved away and they never saw each other again until like 10 years later, and then they saw each other again, and they're in two different places in their lives. But he is stinking adorable. He's so fluffy, he's so sweet. I loved it. And she's very cold and abrasive now. Something definitely has happened that has changed her because she's not the same girl as before. And we kind of like read through like the before and after, and we kind of just see like where the story takes us and how the relationship evolves and how they grow closer together, how they learn to trust each other again. And it's just so beautiful. I remember crying a lot for this book because it just dealt a lot with grief, and it dealt a lot with like relationship issues and things like that. So definitely check this book out if you haven't already, and enter my giveaway if you haven't. I don't know how many times I have to plug in my giveaway, but do it. So my battery is dying, which is great for me. I love that for me. I'm doing really well. But that is it for my whole weekly book haul. I accumulated a lot of books. Thank you to all the publishers. Thank you to all the bookstores that have sent me books. It's great to see all these new releases coming out this month and also in the months following. I'm excited to read all of them, and if you guys are excited too, make sure to check them out either on Goodreads or check them out at your local bookstores so you guys can read the same book as me and we can talk about it. And if I hate it, then we could like talk about that too in our IG Instagram stories and DMs and things like that. I'm rambling and I'm being really crazy right now, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with a new video. Bye. Can't let you go.